Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Spooky Tales, where I share some of the scariest stories from around the world. Today, I have a chilling story for you from a hospital in New York City, where a nurse encountered a terrifying apparition that haunted her for years. Are you ready to be scared? Then let's begin. The story takes place in the late 1990s, when a young nurse named Lisa was working at a hospital in Manhattan. She was assigned to the night shift, which meant she had to take care of the patients who were in critical condition or needed constant monitoring. One night, she was checking on a patient in room 13, who had suffered a severe stroke and was in a coma. As she entered the room, she noticed that the patient's vital signs were stable, and he was breathing normally. She decided to adjust his pillow and blanket, and make him more comfortable. As she leaned over the bed, she suddenly felt a cold hand grab her wrist. She gasped and looked at the patient, expecting to see him awake. But he was still unconscious, and his eyes were closed. She looked at his hand, and saw that it was limp and motionless. She felt a surge of fear, and realized that the hand that was holding her was not his. She turned her head, and saw a horrifying sight. Standing next to the bed, was a pale, gaunt woman, dressed in a hospital gown. She had long, black hair, that covered most of her face. Her eyes were wide open, and bloodshot. Her mouth was twisted in a silent scream, and she had a large wound on her chest, where her heart should be. She was staring at Lisa, with a look of rage and agony. She tightened her grip on Lisa's wrist, and pulled her closer. Lisa felt a wave of coldness and pain, as the woman's hand squeezed her wrist. She tried to scream, but no sound came out. She tried to pull away, but the woman was too strong. She felt like she was being dragged into a dark abyss, where the woman's tormented soul awaited her. Lisa thought she was going to die, when suddenly, the door opened, and another nurse walked in. She saw Lisa struggling with the woman, and shouted for help. She ran to the bed, and tried to pry the woman's hand off Lisa's wrist. The woman let go, and vanished into thin air. Lisa collapsed on the floor, unconscious. The other nurse checked on her, and saw that she was still alive, but had a deep bruise on her wrist, where the woman had grabbed her. She called for a doctor, and an ambulance, and Lisa was rushed to the emergency room. Lisa survived the ordeal, but she was traumatized by the experience. She learned that the woman who had attacked her was a former patient, who had died in room 13, a few years ago. She had been admitted to the hospital, after being stabbed in the heart by her abusive husband. She had died on the operating table, but her spirit had remained in the room, angry and vengeful. She had attacked several other nurses, who had entered the room, but Lisa was the only one who had seen her face. Lisa quit her job, and moved to another city, hoping to forget the incident. But she never did. She still had nightmares, and flashbacks, of the woman's ghost, and the cold hand that had almost taken her life. That's the end of the story, folks. I hope you enjoyed it, and found it spooky. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel, for more spooky tales. And don't forget to comment below, and tell me what you think of the story, and if you have any ghost stories of your own, that you want me to share. Until next time, stay safe, and stay spooky. Bye.